It is a matter of common knowledge that there are three religions in China: Taoism, Confucianism, and Buddhism. There is, however, a saying in that country: it contains three religions, and yet it is only one. The fact is that the three religions are three branches, growing from a common stem, which has existed from prehistoric times. This stem is the religion of the universe, its parts and phenomena. In the age of Han, the ancient stem divided itself into two branches, Taoism and Confucianism, while simultaneously Buddhism was grafted upon it. Buddhism, being merely the engrafted branch, may be left aside for the present, in order that our attention may be confined in the first place to Taoism and Confucianism, the bifurcation of ancient Universism. The Chinese Empire, one and undivided, was created in the 3rd century before our era. At that time, the powerful emperor Shi Hongdi of the Qin dynasty destroyed the congeries of states that, up to that time, had existed in the birthplace of higher East Asian culture, the home of Confucius and Mencius. The Qin collapsed after a few years, giving place to the glorious dynasty of Han, which maintained itself and its throne till the 3rd century of our era. In organizing the young empire, its statesmen built up a political constitution, taking, naturally and systemically, for their guides, the principles, rules, and precedents of the old time, embodied in the ancient literature. The religious elements contained in the classics were necessarily incorporated with that constitution, together with the political, since everything in the classics was to be preserved and developed as a holy institution of the ancients. In other words, those religious elements became the state religion. The interference is that the religious principles and elements which are contained in the classics, and for this reason are those of Confucianism to this day, are the ancient principles of Universism or Taoism, and that the classics are, accordingly, the Bibles of both Confucianism and Taoism. Its starting point is the Tao, which means the way, that is to say, the way in which the universe moves, its methods and its processes, its conduct and operation. It actually is, in the main, the annual rotation of the seasons producing the process of growth, of renovation and decay. It may accordingly be called time, the creator and destroyer. Man, conceiving the universe as animated, has realized that to exist and to live in a happy state, he should comport himself as perfectly as possible in accordance with the universe. Should his acts disagree with the mighty Tao, a conflict must necessarily ensue, in which he, as the immensely weaker party, must inevitably succumb. Chinese scholars frequently describe the Tao as the revolving mutations of the yin and yang, or the annual revolution of changes produced by the yin and yang, or the changes which the yin and yang produce. The yin is associated with the earth, which is cold and dark, and the yang with heaven, which is warm and luminous. They are respectively the female and the male of the soul of the cosmos, its anima and its animus. In the Li Ji, we read that man is a product of the beneficial operation of heaven and earth, or the copulation of the yin and the yang, and the union of a kuei with a shen. He consists of the finest breath which the 5 elements contain. The yang is defined as a supreme, universal shen, living, creating, which divides itself into an infinite number of shen and deposits them in the various beings of the world, and the yin as a universal kuei, likewise divisible into myriads of particles, each of which, in an individual, may form his other soul. With these dogmas before us, we may now say that the old groundwork of the Chinese system of religion is a universistic animism. The gods are such shen as animate heaven, the sun and the moon, the stars, wind, rain, clouds, thunder, fire, the earth, seas, mountains, rivers, rocks, stones, animals, plants, objects of any kind. In particular, also the gods are the shen of deceased men. And as to the demon world, nowhere on the earth is it so populous as in China. Kuei swarm everywhere. They snatch the souls out of living men so that these become ill or die. They strike or touch men so that dangerous boils or tumors appear on their bodies. As the demons act in the Tao of the world as distributors of evil, they exercise a dominant influence over human fate, as do, in like manner, the Shen, the spirits or gods of the Yang, who are the distributors of blessing. But the Yang is as high above the Yin as heaven is above the earth. Heaven, therefore, is the chief Shen or god, who rules and controls all evil spirits and their actions. And so, Chinese theology has this great dogma that no demons harm man without the authorization of heaven, or at least without its silent consent. Man is a product of the dual soul of the universe, as he has likewise a dual soul, a Shen and a Kuei. Man, accordingly, is a product of the order of the world. Actually, he is a part of it. His creation and destruction being affected by that order, his existence in every respect determined by the universal law, the name of which is Tao. These fundamental dogmas are the basis of both the Confucians and Taoist doctrines about the proper conduct of man. This conduct must be in accordance with the Tao, or order of the universe. Therefore, it is called the Tao of man. The Tao of the universe, creating the Tao or conduct of man, thus, according to Confucius and his school, pervades human life in all its parts. Heaven and earth being placed in their positions, the mutation of the Yang and the Yin occur in them. These mutations make the character of man and continuously preserve and sustain it, being thus the gate through which righteousness, produced by the Tao, enters into man. The word Tao, accordingly, means correct behavior, the proper rules of life and religion, good principles. It is used throughout the classics in all these meanings. The Confucian classics have been, since the Han Dynasty, the fundamental books for ethical education and political wisdom. This fact, therefore, stamps them as Taoist books.